this f.write and file handling. Okay, so understand the concept first. Why we are using the file handling? This is the main concern. Till now we haven't stored our data anywhere into, whenever this console screen is over, our data is lost. Okay, now but this point of time I will store some data. Okay, after execution of my code, whatever I am doing on the CMD, and I want to store my data into the files for the later purpose. Okay, later purpose will mean that I want to do some kind of analytics after getting the data from the user. Okay, and I want to perform some kind of operation on this data. So first that you have to store the data. For storing the data inside the files, okay, because earlier we have not stored anywhere our data. Now this time that we are going to store our data into the files. So whenever the data is written into the file, you are supposed to open anytime, anywhere. Okay, because these are your records. Whatever that you enter into the this file, these are your records. Later on that you can perform further operation on this. Later on you can perform further operation on it. So first that you have to store data somewhere, because whenever we use this console screen, we haven't stored anywhere any data. For example, this much amount of money that we have not stored anywhere. Okay, now I want to store this data on somewhere. Whatever operation that I perform, the first user come inside my the organization and he buy, let's suppose 10, 20, 30, 40 products, and then the second one, then the third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, and let's suppose at the end of the day that I got approximately 100 customers. Okay, at the end of the day, my owner, okay, if I am owner, I want to check it out the total sale for today. Okay, for doing this type of activities, first I need the data. So from where I will get my data, because I never store anywhere. So first that whatever operation that you perform, that you have to store that into some particular file or some particular location. And after that you are supposed to process this data. Then you are performing some operation. Let's suppose you are adding, okay, you are finding out which one is the maximum, the sale product, okay, which one is the mostly used product, something like this that you want to do. To performing this operation, first you need the data. So for storing the data inside the file, we have operation is called write. The write is an operation. Okay, with the help of this I am supposed to write the data into this file. Inside write, the every logic is defined how you can store the data into the files. Okay, just like a print. The print statement that you are getting the output on the console screen, but this time that I want to write the data onto the files. For writing the data onto the file, there is special function, and that function name is called write function. Okay, and when we have to use this write, when we want to store the data into the files. Okay, so 90% when you enter into the industry, the data would be stored into the files, or data is stored into the MySQL kind of things, the databases. Okay, the databases. So without these, there is no application who is available inside the market. You have to either go with the DBMS, you have to either go with the files, because without these you are not supposed to process your data, not supposed to store it. What is the benefit of this program? Until I won't get anything, okay, I cannot do the analytics over that data, then what is the benefit of making this software? Okay, the same example, the retail store. At the end of the day that you want to check it out, okay, that what is the total sale for today. But how you can find it out the total sale of today? Whenever you have data. Now you want to check it out how many customers are there, because after closing this screen, everything is washed out. But I need each and everything, whatever process I did, how many customers I have, what the customer buy, and total sale. You want to perform this kind of analytics over that data. So that's why we are using the files. In the industry, no project is completed without the databases. The data can be stored into the files. Okay, data can be stored into the DBMS. Data can be stored into the Hadoop kind of things. Okay, this is the distributed environment where the large amount of data is stored. So without these, you are not supposed to make any application. That is not useful application. Okay, without databases, the application are not useful applications. So keep this point into the mind. Whenever you sit into the industry, definitely you have to store the data somewhere. The storage can be cloud as well. Okay, the storage can be file as well. The storage can be some kind of database management systems. The storage can be distributed environment, Hadoop. The storage can be Amazon Web Service. Storage can be Azure. Okay, storage can be IBM Cloud, storage can be S3. Okay, the storage can be anything. The concepts are same. The storage can be anything. Without storing the data, the applications are not fruitful. Okay, so this is the concept. I think I gave the answer of the first question.
So basically, you're saying is basically whatever the output we need for the future reference. That's what we are trying to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Output.
Okay, just take a simple example. If I am using this Gmail, if my mails are not stored, then what is the benefit of this mail? Okay, let's suppose I read it out this mail, and after reading it out, it's vanish out. So what is the benefit of this? No one are going to use it. If your WhatsApp message, when you read the message, the message is vanished out. Then what is the benefit of that application? The data is somewhere storing, na?
Yeah, that's basically for the output, right? Just to
Yeah,
say
obvious.
Somewhere we need that.
Obvious. Without file handling, without database connectivity, without handling the data, no project is completed. Until unless you won't perform this activity into your project, that is not a project. That is just like a the program, very simple program. Whenever you add the some kind of mechanism something like this, the database connectivity or databases, then your file become a complete full-fledged project. Okay. So.
One more thing, very little question. So the way you're trying to when we are just doing a program and we're just trying to save it somewhere, right? By saying whatever test.py, right? And inside the file is a different name. So why you are taking the two different names? Why can't you have the same name when you're saving it in the folder?
When I'm opening it.
When you're opening it, like you're saying abc.text, right? abc.text and w. But just when you're trying to save this file and you're giving a different name,
No, I.
saying is
The code file.
saying is yeah, some test.py or something.
Okay.
When you're saving the file.
Okay. Okay.
And when you in your console, right, you're putting that file name and the file is saving with a different name into the folder, abc.text or
Okay.
something like
Okay. Now understand this concept. How I am opening the file? The first way I can open with the double click. Let's suppose this is a. Let's suppose just take it. Any small file is there or not? Okay, because these are very heavy files. So okay, let's just take it this one. This is a file. Just imagine it. This is a file. The one way that I am opening this file with double click. Okay, with passing the enter or with the help of the double click. This is the one way. Now the second way is this one. I am opening a file. Okay, I am opening a file with the help of Python program. So this one is my Python script. Okay, this one is my Python script. That is my Python program. Okay, the name of this program is test.py. I want whenever I execute this program, inside this program I define each and everything. Which file that you have to open, which file that you have to write the data, okay, which file that you are supposed to process the data. This is my scripted file, okay, script file basically. And inside that file I define a set of tasks that first that you have to open this file, that the file name is abc.txt, that you are supposed to open it, and after that you are supposed to perform the further operation onto this file. Okay, whenever I call this script, then this process will be executed, and inside this file I specify each and every step that you are supposed to perform these steps. If I write over here text.py, now what will happen? When I call this file will be clean. It will override the data. So that's why whenever I call this file, I told my file, I write a script for this file. Whenever I call you, you are supposed to perform these steps. You are supposed to open this file, and after that you are processing the data. But what if let's suppose I am taking the data from the users. What if I override this file? Let's suppose first time my script is running out and the code is vanish out. Here the data is came. For example, the customer number 1, he buy the product of 1,000 rupees. The customer number 2, 2,000. The customer number 4, okay, so on $50 and so on, something like this. Now what will be happen? What about my original code? In the next time, what I will do? Okay, in the next time what I will do, from where I will bring this code, because this code can be thousands of line of code, and what I did, I override this code. Whenever I execute this, I override this code. So how you can handle this type of situations? So this,
So how can you remember all the time, like, because you're having two different file names all the time?
sir, you are a programmer, you are a programmer, and you are supposed to design a program. You are designing a program, you are designing a problem statement, you are solving a problem statement. In the real time industry, there are n number of modules are there are n number of databases are there. In the real time industry, what exactly happen, you will get a documentation for each and everything. That's why in first day I told you will find a documentation. Okay, without documentation you are not supposed to create a project. Inside documentation everything is elaborated. What you are supposed to do, which file what will do, okay, what is the name of the variables, how variable that would be stored into the the memory. Each and everything is defined into the the software requirement. It's not a software requirement specification. I forget the exactly name of this documentation. The technical name is there for this documentation, and you are supposed to build your application according to this documentation. So everything will be keep remember that you being a programmer, whenever you do this kind of things, automatically it's become your habit. You get understanding with the what exactly that you have to do, from where the data is coming, on which format data you are getting the data, and what format you are supposed to store that data.
So the way in this case the test.py is going to be added into your folder as well, isn't it?
It's my file, it's my scripted file. Okay, it's my file. Inside this file I define a logic, what exactly that I have to do, what is my task, what is my problem statement, what is my logic, how I can handle these things. Okay, so this is the file.
So two folders are saving at the same time, so the test.py and the ABC file is going to be saved.
ABC file, yes, one is scripted file, and the second one is the file which you are storing the data. Because you cannot do the same thing into this file. No? This file is your scripting file. You cannot use for both of the purpose. Okay, so the second question is how you can write a program to add two numbers and write the data into the files. So A is equal to I am opening a file, and the name of the file is add.txt. Okay, and I am writing it onto the W mode. So add1.txt. Okay, so f dot write of str of this C, because I already told you the write is always take the data in the form of the string. You are not supposed to pass it as a as a integer, and Ajay sir is facing, I suppose, error over here because he is passing the data into the format of the integer. Am I right, Ajay sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why the reason I now I get why you asked this question. Okay, so addition.py. Okay, the name of this program is this one. Now understand the scenario. This is my script. That this script is basically used to add two numbers, and this one is my file where the final output would be written out. Okay, so I cannot use the same name. That is not a good approach. cmd py space addition.py. Now you can check the file is ready over here. Enter two numbers 10 20. Now the data has been written out, the 30. I think this one you are looking for.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is the main concept, because you are
It did add up for me as well, but it was adding up in the string way.
Yeah, you have to add, you have to pass this parameter into the string format. Otherwise, you will get the error message. I know you are facing that error that you are passing the integer as well. So that's why it's giving you the error.
But see the way that you have a and B, sir, on the very first and second line. Can that be written after the opening file?
The choice is again here. You want to open first, then you can open it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That is not a concern. That's not a concern.
Because I was doing that afterwards, you know.
Okay. So I think the picture is clear now. Okay, so okay, welcome. So now we clear with the right concept. Okay, now I am going to use the read statement. Okay, as I already told you in the last section, that the same way, if you want to open a file, f is equal to open. Okay, the file name is, let's suppose, the add1.txt, which we generated just now. And in this mode that you are specify, I am opening this file into the read mode. Whenever you are opening a file into the read mode, it is mandatory that this file should be present over there. Otherwise, you will get the error message. Okay, now understand it. Now you want to read this data. You want to read this data. For read the data, we have, okay, for read the data that we have one method that is called read. Another method that is for read n. Another method that is for read line. Okay, another method read lines. Keep this point into the mind. Read lines. Okay, these are the four methods which are available for reading the data from the files. So question is, what is the difference between these four methods? Okay, very simple, nothing special. The name specify itself, automatically the work will like this. Let's suppose my file is add.txt and this file contain the information. Let's suppose this file contain the information 30. Okay, as we just created right now. So first thing that when I read the data, f dot read. Okay, f dot read. What is the meaning of this? It's mean that I am reading the data, the entire data. Okay, entire data is read into the string format. The entire data read into the string format, and that data is assigned to the x variable. Okay, this is the first concept. With the help of read, it will read the complete data into the string format. Okay, now the case number 2, when I suppose f dot read of 5. Now what is the meaning of this? It's mean that I am reading 5 characters. I just reading the 5 character. By default the cursor is standing over here, and after that I am reading 5 characters, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are total number of 5 characters that I am reading. This is the second concept. If you want to read specific number of characters, then you have to specify the n variable. Okay, n can be any number, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, in the next case, the next is read line. Okay, read line. For example, in your file, there are multiple lines. Okay, there are multiple lines. Now the first is, whenever I perform this read line, the read line mean it will read only single line. Where the cursor is placed, let's suppose in the by default the starting the cursor is placed over here on the starting position, on the 0th position, and then I perform this operation, that is the read line. It will read the complete line in a string format, only single line. Okay, it won't touch the entire data, it will just read out the line where the cursor you have placed, and by default this cursor is placed on the 0th location. Okay, now it will read the single line only. Okay, after reading this line, now the cursor will be moved over here. Okay, so this one, the 3, very simple. The one is read, completely read the entire data into the string format. Read n, how many character that you want to read. Read line, that mean it would read only single line of data. Okay, that's a single line. And after that, read lines. Okay, read lines. Now read lines mean it will read the entire data in the string, in the list format. Okay, in the list format. So how exactly it is? Let's suppose inside your file, okay, inside your file there are 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Okay, and by default, as we know, whenever you cursor move into the next line, the /n is automatically appended over here. Okay, to moving the cursor into the next line, the /n is again special character that you use over here. Okay, so whenever I perform this operation, f dot read lines, what is the meaning of this read lines? It will read the entire data into the list format. Now L will become a list, and inside list there is one line. Okay, and also it will read the /n as well, because it's a special character. Okay, we are not able to see it, but yes, it's a special character. Whenever you press enter end of the any line, so it will treat it as a /n. So automatically the /n will be come over there. Okay, line number 2, again the index of 2, index of 1, the line number 2, and again /n with it. Okay, line number 3, okay, line number 4 and line number 5. It will read the data into the list format. So these are the 4 methods which are responsible to read the data. Okay, these are the 4 methods which are responsible to read the data from the file. The file is existing there, it should be existing there. If the file is not there, then it will give you the error message, this file is not available. Okay, I think the picture is clear. Let's see the practical part, then the picture would be more clear. Okay, so I am creating a file. The file is ABC, and inside ABC I am writing some data. I am Python. Okay, I am Python. I love Python.
पापा अभी नहीं, अभी कल पूछ रहा हूँ, कल उठ के ना के दे दूँगी लैपटॉप पक्का.
I love Python. Okay, Python is very easy. Okay, Python is very easy. I like Python. When I press enter, okay, when I press enter, okay, one more line is there. I know Python. Okay, whenever I press enter, we cannot see it, but whenever we press enter, by default the slash n is there. Okay, by default the slash n is there. The slash n means that the person press enter. Whenever you press enter, the back end, that's mean you press the slash n. Okay, so by default the slash n would be there, because I press every line I press enter, and the system will understand, okay, the person enter over a slash n. Okay, so this is hidden character, you can say like a hidden character. Okay, so I made this file, and the file name is add. Okay, add1. Okay, add1.txt. Now I will read this data. For the same, I am making a program. F is equal to open. Okay, this time I am opening add2.txt. Okay, add2.txt into which mode? Read mode. Why I use add2.txt? Because I want to show you, if the file is not there, then it will give you the error message. Okay, so that's why I use the add2. So let's suppose that data, I am making a variable data. Inside data I am performing a function, that is the read. Okay, that is the read. Now I am printing this data. Okay, before printing the data, what I am doing, I am printing the type of data. Now the picture would be more clear. Okay, add2 is not there, then it will give me the error message. Let me close this file, f.close. Okay, so add2 is not there. So what it will say? It will say the file is not found. You can check it out. No such file or directory, add2.txt. So it is mandatory, whenever you are using this R mode, the file should be present over there. So now this time I am changing the name, that is the add1.txt. Now the same thing that I am performing. Okay, now you can check it out. Which operation I perform? Okay, which operation I perform? I perform a read operation. And I already told you, whenever we read the data with the help of this read method, now entire data is read into the text format. Okay, into the string format. This variable contain the entire data. These are number of lines. Okay, and these number of lines are, after that I print what is the type of this data. This type of this data is string, and what is the print data, and after that I print the entire data. The entire data is this one. I am Python. I love Python. Python is very easy. I like Python. I know Python. Okay, so this is the one method by which you can read the data. Now the next is read n. So for this point of time, I am just reading only 5 characters. Okay, I am reading only 5 characters. Now understand this scenario. Now you can check it out. The file mean 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's mean it's read only 4 characters. Okay, the 4 characters. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because fourth one is a space. Okay, fourth one is a space. That's why it's making here none. Okay, if I make 7, now you can check it out. It will read only 7 characters. Now you can understand this scenario better. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now cursor is moving, blinking over here. Okay, cursor is blinking over here. So this is the second case, the read. Okay, read number of character, how many character that you want to read from this file. The file name is abc add.1txt. Now the next is read line. Okay, the next one is a read line. It's mean it will read a single line only. Okay, single line only. Now how it will identify there is a single line? Because he know there is slash n. Whenever there is slash n, that means that is the end of that line. Okay, that is end of that line. and it automatically understand, okay, the slash n is there, that's why I am read only, and the operation, the operation which is performed by a user, that is the read line. So it understand it, okay, I am blinking over here, I am blinking over here, now I am supposed to read only one line because here the end of this line is a slash n. So now you can check, I get only one line, that is the IMPython. Okay, now the third one is read lines. As I already told you, this is the method by which the entire data is read out from this file, but in the form of the list. Okay, the same thing I perform. Now you can check it out. As I already told you, it will automatically read the slash n character as well. Slash n character as well, because this is a special character. Whenever you press enter, the automatically this character is appearing back and on the back screen. But it is not seen by the, directly you cannot see it. But yes, when we read the data, yes, automatically whenever you press enter into the entire file, that would be written out. Okay, that would be read out. So this is these are the four methods which are available for reading the data. The choice is again your what method that you want to read. You want to read the entire data. That's at that time you have to perform the read. Whenever you want to read only number of characters, then you have to specify how many characters that you want to read. Whenever you want to read the single line, then the method is called read line. Whenever you want to read the entire data into the list format, at that time there is a method, that method is called read lines. Okay, again the choice is again your whatever operation that you want to perform, you can perform. So this is very basic about read. If you have any doubt regarding this, please ask me before proceed further. Please ask me anything that you want to ask.
Question for you.
Yeah, please.
You know the way you said read line, right? It's going to read only one line,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be from the starting, from the very first, right?
Yes, yes.
But if I want to read the maybe 9th or 10th line.
Yeah, I'm coming back to this point. I'm coming back to this point because this is very basic. I will tell you more methods as well. Anything else? The person, anything except from this question? If you want to ask any question, please ask me before moving further.
Yes, I had the question. Why, when it's read lines, it returns as a list?
So this is the predefined method because the Python, who create the Python, he create that method. So whenever you use this read line, this is the behavior of the method, the behavior of this method. So this is created by the, the person who create this Python. Okay. Here is my role is 0 over here. I just use this method and I show the utility of this method. Okay. Anyone else, anyone who want to ask something before proceeding further? I show you both of the methods. Now I am moving further. Okay. So understand this concept. Now this is my file. Okay, this one is the important one. This is my file. When I read the file, okay, let's suppose I am writing a function. I write a program, and inside program I open this file. Okay, I open this file, and after opening I read the data, f.read. Okay, f.read. Now what is the meaning of this? It's mean I read entire data. Okay, my cursor by default blinking over here, and after performing this operation my cursor is blinking over here. Understand this point. Okay, now that's mean my cursor is over here because I have read the entire data. How many lines are there? That doesn't matter whenever you perform this read operation. When you perform this read operation, that's mean you read entire data, this entire data. Okay, this entire data. Now this entire data, after reading the entire data, my cursor is blinking over here. Okay, on the end of this data. Now let's suppose after that, okay, I didn't close this file. Okay, I didn't close this file. After that I again perform a read operation. Now this time x is equal to read. Now can anyone tell me what would be inside this x? Can anyone tell me what would be the inside this x? This is general behavior and a general question.
Maybe none.
Yes, perfect. In this file, the none would be there because inside my program I perform this activity. That's mean my cursor is over starting from here and here. Now this time it's blinking over here, and after that I am again perform the read operation. Now there is nothing to read. There is nothing to read. That's why in this scenario, now you will get the none into second case. Okay, you will get the none into the second case. So take care this point whenever you performing the operation with the files to reading the data. Okay, so this is the important one, because sometimes student do mistake over here, sir, data is not coming. How data will be come? Because you read entire data and after that you are saying, okay, read the data. Now your cursor is blinking over here. So keep this point into the mind when you are supposed to handling this file. Okay, so let's suppose, okay, now question for you guys. Let's suppose in the first case I read 5. Okay, now after that I perform this activity. Now can anybody tell me what will be happen? What would be the inside X and what would be the inside D? I read over here only 5 characters.
It will read after 5 characters.
Yes. Now inside X, first it will read 5 character, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these character it will read. Now cursor is blinking over here. And after that, okay, what I am doing, I am reading the entire data. Now inside the next short, the entire data would be assigned to the X. Okay, this entire data. Python, I love Python. Python is very easy. Python I like. Okay, I know the Python, because here in the first statement, I read only 5 characters. That's mean I blink the cursor over here. Now my cursor is blinking over here, and after that I perform the read operation. Now the read operation says that, okay, if you are reading the data, I have to read the entire set of data. So the picture is this one. Okay, so keep this one into the mind. So now the question is, sir, my cursor after reading 5 characters, my cursor is blinking here, and now I want to move that cursor on the 0th position. Okay, for example, now I am deleting it. My cursor is blinking over here. Okay, my cursor is blinking over here. I read this much amount of character. Let's suppose these are the 20 or 25 characters. I perform this activity, f.read of 25. Now my cursor is blinking over here. Okay, now I want to ask from a Python, okay, please tell me where is my cursor, on which position my cursor is there. So for asking a Python, a very beautiful function is there, and that function name is called tell. Okay, basically this is a method, not a function, method. There is a very beautiful method, and that method name is called tell. Okay, the tell is a method that is pre-available inside the Python, which will tell the current position of a cursor. Okay, current position of a cursor. Now my question is, now it tell me, okay, your cursor is blinking on the 25th position. Now my question is, I want to move this cursor to the 0. Okay, I want to move this cursor to the 0. Okay, or cursor into the 5, or cursor into the, let's suppose, 10. Okay, then what is the scenario for that? So for that we have another method. That method is called seek. Okay, seek. The seek mean I am moving the cursor. Whenever I press over here 0, now my cursor is blinking over here. When I press over here 0, then it move the cursor over here. Now my cursor is blinking over 0. Let's suppose I press over here 6. Now my cursor is blinking over here. Now I press over here 8. My cursor is blinking over here. So for moving the cursor, okay, the method name is called seek. For getting the cursor value, where exactly the cursor is blinking, that method is called tell. Okay, that method is called tell. Now I think the picture is clear. What is the role of this tell and seek? Now see the practical part for the same. The tell is a method which will tell where your cursor is blinking. The seek is a method which will move your cursor from forward to the backward direction. Okay, but always start from the 0. That's mean it will start counting from the 0. Whenever, let's suppose, the cursor is blinking over here, you ask, okay, the tell. Now you want to move the cursor on, let's suppose, 10 position, then it will start counting from 0 to 9. Okay, 0 to 9. Whenever you say, okay, move the cursor, let's suppose I ask the cursor, my cursor is blinking over 25 position, and after 25 position I want to move the cursor to the 30. So what I will do, 25 plus 5, that's mean 30. Then I have to pass over here 30. So it will start from reading from the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and up to 29, it will move over here. So someone is, I think, asking a question. Please ask who is asking a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
So I understood the method tell and seek. I don't understand now why we use tell, because for example, I don't need to know the position.
So sometimes, yeah. Okay. I'll give you one example. Sometime, yes, we required to ask the cursor, okay, where exactly my cursor is pointing. Okay, because these are the only 5 lines, only 6 lines. Let's suppose there are thousands of lines, and in the thousands of lines, let's suppose I want to read out only 500 characters, and after that 500 characters, that I want to read only 10 characters. Then at that point, My client is saying that, okay, according to my software, on the 500 character, you will get the name, okay, and in the 700 character, you will get the age. So I need these two value, okay, rather than age, on the size 700 character, you will get the mobile number, okay, you will get the mobile. Your requirement is this one from the entire file, that you are supposed to read only name and the mobile number. And your client says that, okay, on the 500 character, according to my software, on the 500 character, the name is there, and on the 700 character, the mobile is there. So for this point of time that you are supposed to take the help of seek and tell. First you have to move the cursor over here, and then you have to move the cursor on the 700 point. Some time that required, the Python give you this feature, tell and seek. I hope I gave the answer of you.
Okay, for me, I understood that seek is only, when you want to go back to the beginning.
No, you can move anywhere. Let's suppose you want to move over here, then you have to pass 20, but it start counting from 0. It's always start counting from 0.
So let's say I want to read only very.
Okay, you want to move only very?
No, I want to read only very.
Okay, you want to
I start from 3 and I end up at 1.
you start from where?
Yeah, let's say for example, but now the file is small, but let's say a client wants to read only one page, one specific paragraph. How would you do this?
Okay. So you want to read from here to entire data, from this very, okay, just you are want to read, so there is no direct way.
So either you start at one specific point,
Yeah, you have to start from,
go back to 0.
you have to go back to 0. Okay, because there is no direct.
MJ,
Yeah, please.
one thing, right? The way he's saying, the Muhammad is saying, the one, like let's say there's only one paragraph, right? And you only want to read only that paragraph. So is there any way we can, only read that from that to that point?
Sir, but how you can manage only this paragraph contain only this much amount of character? If you know this much amount of character, then you can simply pass out read of 25, read of 50. But it is very difficult to keep understand how many data is there. Otherwise, you can create a logic. Okay, you can take an estimated idea that paragraph is only 10 lines. So you can proceed with that. You are supposed to read only 10 lines. So directly with the file, because this is the unstructured data. No? This is not a structured data. This is the unstructured data. But in the case of structured data,
Slicing, can we use the slicing there?
yeah, you can perform anything over here. Whenever the data is coming into the string format, complete process, you can perform entire string methods which are available. Okay, because data is coming into the string format, you can do any method which is associated with string that you can perform it. But there is no direct way that you can perform such kind of activities because this is the unstructured data. So let's suppose this is the rows and column. Here you can perform it, okay, just read out this column, okay, and read out this column and read out these much rows. Here the possibilities are there because this is data into the structured format. But here the data is totally into the unstructured format. Let's suppose from one person, for one person he is writing 4 paragraph, for second person he is writing only the paragraph with the 10 lines, the third person who is writing the paragraph with 20 lines, next person 55 lines. How you can manage these things? What you can do, you can take help, some kind of help like this. For let's suppose whenever a person the new paragraph is coming, the previous one that you have to not remove, you just mark out the sign something like this. Okay, after completion of one user, you can print these number of stars. Okay, let's suppose 10 stars. So if the 10 stars are there, that means the next paragraph would be star. You can create a logic something like this. Okay, the 10 stars are there, now it's mean this is the end of this paragraph. Again, you are reading data, okay, eventually you find it out, okay, there are 10 stars. Whenever 10 stars, that means the paragraph is over. So first that you have to perform some kind of structure, you have to give some kind of structure to this data, because this is again some kind of structure, not a fully structure, but this is structure, some kind of structure. After completion of every paragraph that you are performing, okay, 10 stars. Now it indicated to the indicated to the analytics, okay, whenever this 10 stars are coming, that's mean this paragraph is over. So you can create the logic something like this. Okay, you can create the logic something like this. So you can find out, okay, this is the paragraph, okay, this is the paragraph, okay, this is the paragraph, something like this. Okay, because directly the way is not present there, because this is the unstructured data. And
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, please.
Sir, can we, for solving the Mohammed sir query, can we use text finder program in the same?
That's a separate thing. You can do anything. You can use any of, yes, you can use any method.
Anybody want to find, and from that we start the
You can do, yes, you can do it. You can do it.
that particular point
Yes, you can do it.
by implementing the same text finder.
Yes, the text program that we already did, you can perform that. That is the same solution that I already told you guys. But that time you are reading the data from the file. That's it. I think I made this program as well.
Yes, we done it.
Okay. So this one is the read way, and how we can read with the help of the 4 methods. Now the next one is the tell and seek. Tell and seek. Okay, now understand it. How exactly the usage of this. Very simple, nothing special that you have to do. Okay, this time I read 2 characters. Okay, now I am asking f.tell where my cursor is. Now it will tell me, okay, my cursor is here. Okay, let me read out 14 character. Okay, now I read 14 character. Now I am asking, okay, where my cursor is. The tell will tell me, okay, your cursor is blinking over here. After that I move the cursor with the help of seek. Now I move the cursor with the help of seek and I pass 2. Now what I did again, I print, okay, tell me where my cursor is blinking, because I move my cursor. Okay, now after that I print the entire data. Okay, I print the entire data.
Tell them this is missing with the tell method.
Okay, so this one. Now understand this concept. Very simple, nothing special. Okay, now first time I read 14 characters, that's mean the cursor is blinking on 2. Okay, and after that I seek to the second position. Okay, I seek to the second position. Okay, that second position is there. It's saying me, okay, your cursor is blinking on the second position. Okay, after that on the second of position that I read the entire data. So this read will read the entire data. Okay, why it's printing over here? Why it's printing over? Because I printed. Okay, I printed. If I don't print it, then you won't get 2 times this 2, because I printed. You can simply use it. Okay, you can simply use it. Now this time the 2 will become only 1 time. Now you can check it out. First I read the 14 character. Now I ask where my cursor is blinking. He said your cursor is blinking on the character number 15. And after that I perform the seek activity. Seek mean 2. Now this time it's moving my cursor on the second position. I again ask, okay, is it work fine or not? Yes, it work fine. My character is moving on the second character. Okay, now after second character I read the entire data. So if you press over here 12, now it will read the data from the 12th character. Now you can check it out. It read the data from the 12th character. The first line is missed out. I am Python. Now I love Python. Python is very easy. I like Python and I know Python. I think the picture is clear with the tell and seek, because these are 2 methods. Sometimes that you have to use these 2 methods. Okay. So the next one is, okay, the question is how I can check the file is exist or not. Okay, how I can check whether that file which I am going to open, that file is exist or not. Okay, because this is the important one. Whenever you are creating a file, you are supposed to open a file, but that file is not existing over there, then rather than to give the error message, user will get the proper message, okay, this file is not available. So how I can tackle this kind of situation? So for the same, what I am doing, I am importing two modules, okay, OS and the second one is SYS. These are the pre-existing module. OS module, the operating system module, SYS module, the system module. Okay, now I am asking from user fname, okay, fname input, enter file name, okay, input, enter file name. What file name that you want to open? Now how I can check this file is exist or not? For there there is a, you know, this module OS. Inside this module there is a function. That function is called path package. Basically this is a package. Inside package, the function, the file is this, the basically the main function is this, is file, okay, is file, okay, is file. So I have to pass over here the fname, okay, I have to pass over there the fname. If the file is existing over here, okay, if the file is existing over here, then what I have to do, then I have to perform the operation, okay, then I have to perform the operation. I just printing it, yes, file is there, okay, yes, the file is there. Now what I want to do, f is equal to open, f is equal to open. Now which file that I want to open, which from I ask from the user, that file I want to open, which I ask from the user, on which mode that you have to open, into the read mode. Okay, if this file is not available, okay, if this file is not available, then what I have to do, print file not present, okay, not present, sorry, okay, file not present, sorry. Okay, now after that, now I want my program will close. For closing everything, okay, for closing everything, that you have to use this exit. Okay, from here, from this point, okay, from this point, everything will be closed. Okay, it won't anywhere, because I use system.exit. It's mean it's quitting out. Okay, it's closing everything, whatever function that is running, the everything will be closed out. Okay, if this scenario is happening, what is happen? Yes, file is there. Now the file has been read out. Okay, because this file is already present, so file has been read out. So if this condition is fail, then what you have to do, else part, the file is not present and you are quitting everything. Okay, so okay, now if everything is fine, that's mean the file is open, the file is, yes, the file is there and file is open. Now what operation that you want to perform, that's simple. I just print the data of that file. Okay, f dot read, I just print the data and I am closing f dot close. Otherwise this operation that you can perform over here as well. If you don't feel comfortable, you can perform over here as well. Okay, you can perform over here. But why I am performing end of this file? Because after that I have to perform so many things. First I just check it out, okay, this file is present over there or not. Then I am supposed to perform the further things. So for this type of scenarios, I am using the exit. If the file is not there, this line won't be executed. These lines won't be executed. My program will terminate it from this point. Okay, my program will terminate it from this point. If I don't use this, then what will happen? Now it will move to this line, and here he won't get any file. So it will give you the error message. Okay, now I will show you without using this exit. I will show you this scenario. Okay, for this time, let's understand it. Okay, I am asking from a user, open a file. Let's suppose this file. I know this file is not available. Okay, I know this file is not available. Now you are again getting the error message, name f is not defined. Okay, but I don't want this error. So what I did, I want whenever this statement is executing, at the time the program should be terminated. Everything should be closed. Okay, so now understand this scenario. Okay, now understand this scenario. Now same time, now you are getting the file is not present, because what is happening, after moving on this line, it's close everything. Your program is terminating on this point. It will not perform the next activity. Okay, so that's why I use this exit. So the next one, okay, this time I know there is file add1.txt. Okay, add1.txt. Now you can get it out. Yes, file is there, and this one is the content of the data. So this is the way by which you can check whether that file is present or not. If the file is not present, simply that means your you are simply exiting your program. To exit the system without executing the rest of the program, it's mean you can consider something like this. Okay. So very simple things, nothing special. So now I'm showing you one function. Now my
Sorry, so I've got a question.
yeah, please.
Why do you put 0? Is that something by default?
By default, that it's a rule that by default that you have passed this 0 argument. It's a rule.
Okay, thank you. Now I have another question.
Yeah, please.
When you put f, before else, the last statement before else, you put f equals to open file name and then read, R. For me, it means that, if the file is there, then you read it automatically.
Yeah, if the file is there, then this execution will be happen. If
We have print f.
where this one print f.
No, yeah, print f read.
Yeah, I am reading the data now. After that you can check it out. After that I am showing the entire data.
What I'm saying is, why do we need this print f read when we have open file and then read?
Why I am opening the file? I am opening the file to read some data from that file. Why you are opening a file? Just tell me why you are opening a file to read the data from that file, na?
To read it, but yeah. So the open file name read is not enough to read the file.
Read is enough. Why read is not enough? Because
No. The last statement before else.
this one.
Is this not enough to read? Is this not enough to read the file? To open
No. It's just giving you the file pointer. What the role of this one is? Okay, understand it. The role of this one is it just open the file. Okay, it's just open the file and it's make a connection and it give you the cursor over here. Okay, role of this one is this one. That's it. Role of f is finished. Now I want to read. For reading the entire data, that you have to perform the read operation. So one by one it is reading. Okay, for this operation, for reading operation. Okay, for reading operation that you have to use the read method for this operation. This operation. It just give you, okay, what exactly it give you? It give you a cursor, okay, it give a connection, it's give a connection with that file. That's mean it says, okay, what it says, I am over here. Now what you want to do? Choice is again here. You want to read only 2 characters, you want to read the entire data, you want to read the, okay, only single line. Okay, you want to read the entire data into the list format, choice is again here. So performing this activity, I use this f.read. This is just a connection. It will give you, it will make a connection. Okay, everything is fine. The file is open. Your cursor is blinking over here. Now what you want to do? I want to read entire data. I want to read set of characters. I want to read the data into the list format. Again, the choice is again here.
Okay, thank you. So the open file name R is just like, for the cursor, and then to open it in read mode, and then to actually display the data, you need to print f read.
Yeah, f read. F read mean that you are printing the data.
For the interruption, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Sir, I want to tell you one thing that you should please comment the print line and show the execution in the console to clear out the doubt of the Mohammed sir.
Okay, Mohammed sir, I am just making a comment for this. Okay, I am making a comment for this. Now you can check it out. Then nothing would be there. I add 1.txt. Now you will get nothing over there because I didn't perform this read operation.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
To print that data in the console.
Okay, I think the picture is clear now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so now I am showing you one program. Okay, the program is you are supposed to read the number of characters. Okay, let's suppose this one is, okay, this one is a file. Your task is, okay, I am giving you 5 minutes and you are supposed to write a code for the same. Write a program to count the number of lines. How many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 lines. Then mean the output would be 5. Number of lines, number of characters. How many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. How many characters that you have to count by the program. count the number of line, number of characters and number of words. Number of words mean the word number 1, word number 2, word number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's your target. You have 5 minutes and write a code for the same. जल्दी coding for the same. Okay, so I am asking from a user, first enter the file name, that what he wants to open. Okay, so after this, let's suppose the file is there, then I am performing the operation. Okay, and here, okay, from this word, from this line, now you can understand the concept why I use the end of this file. So if the file is there, then the simply get the message as file is there, and I just create a link with that's the file pointer that I created, f is equal to open and so on. And after that else, okay, else mean print the file is not present and sorry, then the program will be terminated. Okay, it won't come on this line where my cursor is blinking. So from here my problem statement is that I have to count the number of words, okay, number of characters, number of the lines. So for same I am taking L is equal to 0. Okay, I am taking the full name, so it will make more sense. Line, char, okay, and the third one is words. So I am taking these three variables. Initially I settle down the value, that is the 0. That's mean they don't have anything. Okay, starting on the starting age I just initialize three variables. So the next one is first what exactly that I have to do. I have to the first thing is that I have to read the number of characters. So how I can read the number of characters? Very simple, very simple. The simple terminology, if you want to read the number of character in a string, then what you can do? Okay, then what you can do? Then nothing special, very simple. Let's suppose this is my data. Okay, I read the data into the text format. Let's suppose hello. Okay, I read the entire data. Hello, I love Python, and we know how we can read the data into the string format. So simply you have to print len of L. That's it. That's it. It will give you the length. So how you can define a length? Number of characters. Okay, the number of characters mean the length of the entire data. So character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So number of characters are 19 characters are there. So our first problem is sorted out with a single line of code. Okay, single line of code. Now the next one is now the another one is the character that we have calculated. Now the lines that you have to calculate. Again it's a very simple. Very simple concept. Okay, lines, how I can count the no. How I can count the number of lines? Very simple. F dot read lines, and then again you have to calculate the length of that particular, the list. You will get the number of lines. Okay, you will get the number of lines when you calculate the number of, just read the data into the list format, and after that you just calculate the length of that list. That is the number of lines. Okay, I'll show you, don't worry. So first I am writing a code for the words. How I can define it's a word? Whenever space is there, whenever the space is there, at that time I am specifying, okay, this is the word. How many words are there? 1, 2, 3 and so on. How I can understand, okay, this is the word? Because whenever I get the space, that's mean I define, okay, this one is a word. So what I can do? Very simple. You can split this data. You read out the complete data, okay, and then you are supposed to split that data. You will calculate the number of, the number of the line as well, number of the words as well. So okay, let me show you, because the practical make more sense. Now understand this thing. So first I am doing I read the data into the read mode. Okay, I read the data into the read mode. So the next is the first, that f is equal to open this one. Okay, so I open the file. So okay, so what I am doing now, understand it. F is equal to, okay, here I open the file into the read mode. So data is equal to f dot read, very simple, just read the data. Okay, now what I can do, y is equal to data dot split via space. Okay, by default it will split the data by space. So, and simple print of, okay, print of, then what you can do, print the number of characters. Okay, characters are the len of data, okay, and then print the number of words. That's mean the len of, the len of y. Now before y I just print the y. Okay, before y I just print the y, so the picture would be more clear. Okay, so after that what you have to do, you have to count the number of lines. Okay, for counting the number of line, but exactly that you can do. Now this time my cursor is blinking at the end of the file. Okay, this time my cursor is blinking over here. Now first I have to move the cursor over here, because I have to again read the entire data. So moving the cursor over here, we know it, f dot seek of 0. Okay, seek of 0 is there. Now you have to count the number of, the lines. For lines, how I can count? L is equal to f dot read lines. Okay, read lines. Now we are supposed to print the number of lines are, okay, the number of lines, the len of L. Okay, so there is no need for this. I make the program very simple. There is no need of this. Okay, control X. Okay, control X, and I am printing over. Okay, so I am printing the data after splitting the data, so it will give me the words, and after that one more thing, I printing this L. Now the picture would be more clear. Print of this L. Okay, so I am saving it, and now I am running it. Okay, I forgot to mark over here comma. Okay, again here comma, and one is missing. Okay, again here the comma. Okay, Control S. Okay, the name of the file add1.txt. Now you can check it out. The number of lines are 5, the number of characters are 73, the number of words are 16. So how I can get it out? So when I perform this split, okay, after that I printed it. So how many these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and there is one more. Okay, the 15. So as we know, okay, these one are the 15. So why it's showing the 16? Because these are 16. I forgot to somewhere, counting any word. So let it count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So why it's giving one more? Okay, let me check. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, the length is become 15. So it's taking one more. I don't know why it's taking one more. Okay, don't worry about it. So number of lines are there: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the number of lines are 5. So you can check it out. Okay, this is the way, very simple way. What I did, first I splitted data. I know whenever the space is there, then it would be split out this data. Okay, it would split out this data, and inside this data now I know how many words are there, how I can calculate, because split that return the list, and I just calculate the length of this list, and after calculating the length of this list I got the final output. Okay, so again the read line, it will read the number of data, number of lines, okay, number of line in the format of the list, and again I calculate the length of the list, then you get the number of lines. Okay, so this is the way by which you can perform this kind of things. Very simple, only 4 lines of code. I just used the previous method, whatever method that we use, with the help of, there is no need of for loop. You can do the same thing with the help of the for loop, but I made this program into very simple way, so it worked fine. Okay, so this one is your the very basic assignment. So I think today is end of this session. Tomorrow the class would be continue, and I will make some more features inside this what we can say, this file handling. So before closing this session, if you have any question, please let me